Hey prospectors, it's Matt here from Payload Studios, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build better aircrafts using force gizmos. So let's get into it, shall we? So what are force gizmos? They're a feature that allow you to see how different forces are affecting your tech. Once you enable force gizmos in the in-game menu, enter build beam and you'll see 4 different indicators. A center of mass, a center of lift, a center of thrust, and a center of boost. The direction that the indicator is pointing shows which direction the force is being applied. Apart from the boost indicator, we had to add that one at the back so it didn't interfere too much with the thrust indicator. The position of each indicator shows where the center of each force is, and the length shows how much of each force there is. Sound confusing? Let's take a look at the center of mass, for example. It's pointing down because there's mass on your tech, and thanks to gravity, mass goes down. If the position of the indicator is in the dead center of your tech, then it's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. If it's towards the front of your tech, that means most of the mass is at the front. And if it's towards the back, you get the idea. The shorter the length of the indicator, the less mass is on your tech. So the more mass you add, the longer the indicator gets. Now, let's take a look at how you can build better aircraft using force gizmos. The most important thing to remember when building aircrafts is balance is key. And this is where force gizmos come in. You want to make sure that the center of mass and the center of lift are as close to the center of your tech as possible. If it's too far to the side, your tech's going to want to roll. That's if it can even take off at all. You also want to make sure you have slightly more lift than mass. Too much mass and not enough lift, and your tech's just not going to take off. Here's the disclaimer. This isn't a strict guide that should be followed to the absolute letter. There is a lot of nuance to this. So the best approach is to have a play around and just see what works best for you. My approach to building a tech is to build a basic structure first and then fine-tune the balance until I find that sweet spot. Then I can add all my accessories like weapons and landing gear, and then fine-tune as I go from there. You may want to fine-tune as you build, especially if it's a more intricate design. It's entirely up to you. TerraTech is a sandbox game after all, but just remember to keep it balanced. So why would you go to all this effort when you could just slap on a few gyroscopes and let that balance your tech for you? Now, while that is a valid way to build, especially if you're in a pinch, gyros can interfere when you fly. If you want to know more about how gyroscopes work, we have a little tutorial video up there, but the gist is they apply the force to your tech to keep it level. So when you try and turn or pitch into that force, it pushes against it. So if you're able to build an aircraft without the use of gyroscopes, you'll have a lot more control when in the air. And that's pretty much all there is to it. What do you build with the help of force gizmos? Let us know in the comments, and until next time, prospectors, thanks for watching.